In 2022, Social Security recipients received a 5.9% cost of living adjustment. That was a pretty substantial increase. But we are getting reports that Social Security could see its largest increase in the past 40 years this coming year. Now, this is actually pretty good news. However, this is based on where inflation is currently at. But what I can tell you is we could see Social Security receive the highest increase since 1981, almost 40 years ago. This would be huge because right now, what we are hearing is that the Senior Citizens League, they predict the cost of living adjustment for 2023 will be 8.6%. Now, I can tell you from all the comments that I've received here on this channel, this would be a very welcome sign for millions and millions of Social Security beneficiaries, because what we are seeing is that the problem with that 5.9% cost of living adjustment for 2022 is that it is already below inflation, and that was beginning even before January, even before the very first cost of living adjustment for 2022 was implemented and paid out. We already saw that inflation was higher than 5.9%. Just to give you an idea, in January, the first month that the 5.9% cost of living adjustment was paid out, inflation was at 7.5%. Okay? 1.6% higher than what the cost of living adjustment was. So, even with a roughly $93 increase per recipient, honestly, it wasn't enough to keep up with inflation. And then you factor in that we recently topped out at 8.5% last month. We are currently sitting at 8.3%. Cost of living adjustment is actually hurting Social Security recipients, not helping that much. But again, what we have heard in the past was the Biden administration promised, President Biden himself made a campaign promise that he was going to give people $200 per month every single month for 2 years. Never happened. Now, here's what I can tell you. Right now, due to that 5.9% cost of living adjustment, recipients receive an average of $1,658 per month. That's a decent amount of money, but the problem is, what we are hearing is that the average family in the United States is spending $311 more per month just to buy the things that they were buying last year, like food, paying for rent, utilities, and even gas. But if the 5.9% cost of living adjustment only increased the average income by $93, that $311 just completely wipes it away. Now, here's what we do know. If the Senior Citizens League's prediction becomes true, then recipients will receive another $143 a month. So it would come out to a little bit over $230 over the past 2 years that this increase is going to provide. Well, this would actually take payments from the current number about $1,600 or $1,650 per month up to $1,800 per month. Again, a substantial increase. But here's where things get interesting, and this is where things are actually becoming a little bit more exciting. And this is what I absolutely love. And I've talked about this in the past, and I want to explain what's going on here. If inflation remains high for most of 2022, and again, just picture this, and I'll explain why this is a good thing. If inflation remains high for 2022, but then it comes down towards the end of 2022 and into 2023, recipients, Social Security recipients, would still get their high cost of living adjustment. Maybe it will be 8.6%. We don't know. But if it is 8.6%, and then prices begin to fall in grocery stores and around the country, and then we're seeing inflation drop into the 7s and down into the 6s and maybe into the 5s, and maybe even into the 4s in 2023, guess what? You still get that 8.6% cost of living adjustment. It doesn't go away. But then in 2024, you might see it completely plummet. And then you're getting 1% or maybe really nothing. We don't know. But at least for 2023, that would be a very welcome sign that, okay, you do get a little bit more in 2023, even though prices are falling. You may be able to, keep some money going, right? Keep a little bit in savings. Hopefully there'll be some new laws passed and new provisions passed by Congress where you can actually keep a little bit more money, right? Have a little bit bigger of an emergency fund. Again, there's proposals on the table. We just have to see them pass. Now, just to give you an idea, because I know I'm going to get this question asked. How close is the Senior Citizens League from actually predicting the cost of living adjustment? Well, in 2022, the Senior Citizens League predicted 6.1%. Again, it came in and they were pretty close because it came in at 5.9%. So again, they were just 0.2% away from being correct. Now, the reason why I want to talk about all this is because honestly, nobody's talking about Social Security. Nobody's talking about the struggles that people on a fixed income are currently facing. Because yeah, they got a 5.9% cost of living adjustment in 2022, but that doesn't keep up with inflation. That doesn't keep pace with inflation, and that's the problem. And again, there's other provisions out there. There's other bills that are being discussed where the federal government would make sure that Social Security recipients are the benefits they receive are on pace with inflation. Maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down, we don't know, but it's on pace. And up until recently, nobody has really discussed this because again, we haven't seen this high of inflation in decades. So that's the problem, is we could be seeing this now and it could go away in the next few years, but this is still a problem today. So here's what I can tell you. Lawmakers do have this on their mind, right? It is up for discussions. But the first thing that's going to happen is we have to get out of this war between Russia and Ukraine. Okay? That's the first thing. But the United States isn't going to just back away from helping out Ukraine, so that means Russia has to pull away from Ukraine. That's the first thing. We know there's still COVID funding issues. We know there's still other laws that lawmakers are trying to get passed at the moment. So these are all things that are still up in the air. We know the Biden administration still wants to pass the Build Back Better Act, or at least portions of it. We got discussions on climate change and doing a climate bill. So again, that could happen. But again, all these things are still being discussed. That's pushing Social Security to the back burner. It's pushing the Build Back Better Act to the back burner as well. But until these things start to get passed, until we get past the upcoming midterm elections, a lot of these are just going to be discussions. But the good news is, according to all reports, is that inflation is probably going to be here for a little bit. We're probably going to see it up over 7.5% for a handful of months. And this means that people on Social Security in 2023 will likely see a bigger cost of living adjustment. So just wanted to point that out because as of right now, it could be the biggest increase in the past 40 years, technically 41 years. So again, that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on, share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.